Hello everyone, today's topic is disease resistance in plants and mechanism of plant resistance. First, we're going to see what is disease resistance. Disease resistance refers to the ability of the organisms, typically a plant or an animal, to withstand and defend against the harmful effects of pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, fungi and other organisms that causes the disease to these plants. In picture we have to see the resistance and pathogenic exposures. Disease resistance are also known as to prevent these plant diseases that occurs at high, moderate or low in level. This resistance can be inherited or occurred through the exposure to this pathogen or vaccinations. In agriculture, enhancing disease resistance in crops is crucial for improving yield and sustainability of the plants. Next, the genetic basis of disease resistance. Genetic resistance in plants refers to this innate ability of the certain plant varieties to withstand or tolerate the infection by the specific pathogen due to its genetic process. This form of resistance can be the result of various mechanisms such as the production of antimicrobial components, strengthening of cell walls, and activation of the defense signaling pathways. Genetic disease resistance in plants, where analysis will be begins over 100 years ago when Biffin in 1905 reported that resistance in wheat to strife rust was inherited as a single excessive Mendelian trait. Next, biotic resistance. Biotic resistance is the ability of the species in a community to limit the invasion of the other species, but biotic resistance not widely used to invasion of the plants. Next, the types of disease resistance. First one, the non-host resistance. Second one, true resistance. Third one, the apparent resistance. First one, non-host resistance. Plants are resistant to the certain pathogens because they belong to the taxonomic groups that are outside the range of their host. Second one, true resistance. There are two types of true resistance: horizontal resistance and vertical resistance. True resistance are they possess a gene for resistance or genes directed against the virulence genes of the pathogens. Third one, apparent resistance. Apparent resistance that plants escape or tolerate the infection by the pathogen. Next, the difference between the horizontal and vertical resistance. Horizontal resistance are multigenic. Vertical resistance are allogenic. Horizontal resistance are durable. Vertical resistance are less durable. Horizontal resistance are quantitative resistance. Vertical resistance or qualitative resistance. Horizontal resistance are environmentally influenced. Vertical resistance are not environmentally influenced. Horizontal resistance are often effective against the heterotrophs. Vertical resistance are often effective against biotrophs. Horizontal resistance are partial. Vertical resistance are complete. Horizontal resistance are non-specific. Vertical resistance are specific. The mechanism of the disease resistance in plants. What is meant by mechanism? The mechanism of the disease resistance in plants is in a complex process that involves the several defense strategies to protect against pathogens such as bacteria, virus, fungi and nematodes. These defenses are broadly classified, known as avoidance, immunity, hypersensitivity and tolerance. Next one, the defense mechanism are classified into two types: structural and biochemical. The structural defense mechanism are classified into also two types: pre-existing and induced. Biochemical defense mechanism also classified into two types, the same way of structural and biochemical, pre-existing and induced. We'll see the structural defense mechanism of pre-existing, including wax, thick cuticles, thickness and toughness of the outer wall of the epidermal cells, sclerenchyma cells, natural openings like lenticels, Hydathodes, Nectaris, Stomata. Next, induced structural defense mechanisms. First one, cytoplasmic defense reaction, that's including cell wall defense structures. Second one, the histological defense structures. They are classified into four types. Formation of cork layer. Second one, formation of abscission layer. Third one, formation of thylakosis. And final, fourth one, deposition of the gums. Next, biochemical defense mechanism of pre-existing. First one we known as the inhibitors, that are released by the plants in its environment. It is present in this plant cell before infection. Next, phenolic. It's a chemical components known as thamines, gluconases, denese and chitinases. Next, induced biochemical defense mechanisms. First one we known as hypersensitivity response. Next, production of antimicrobial substance, that which is known as antibiotics. Next, pathogenesis related PR protein. Next, phytoalexins. Next, systemic acquired resistance. Source of disease resistance. It's known as four types. The first one, related species. Second one, mutation. Third one, germplasm. Fourth one, unknown varieties. Now we are going to see in detail. First one, related species. The resistance to a disease may be found in the related species and transferred through the intraspecific hybridization. For example, resistance to the stem, leaf and stripe of rust of weeds. Second one, mutation. Resistance to the disease may be obtained through mutation arising spontaneously or induced through mutagenic treatments. For example, resistance to the stripe rust in wheat, resistance to the brown rust in oats, resistance to mildews in barley. Third one, germplasm collection. When resistance to a new disease or new pathotypics of disease is not known in the cultivated variety of germplasm collection should be screened. Next, fourth one, a known variety. A disease resistance of the most of the cultivated varieties are documented, and a breeder may be find the resistance he needs in the cultivated varieties. That's all. Thank you.